Hey guys, when I first started this channel, my intention was to have like an online prayer journal, which I keep an online prayer journal on paper, but I was going to do it in video format so that so I could share my prayer request, what was going on in my life, and also how God was answering my prayers. To step out in faith and say, this is the situation we're in. We're praying for God's help, and then so that I can show people that God does answer prayer, and that we can trust Him, and we can stake everything on Him, even when it's put out there, and risk embarrassment for trusting God, and so on, because God's never let me down. Now, this channel kind of developed into a place where I pray for others and pray with others, and that's great. It's been really a blessing to me, and I think to others as well. I'm going to continue to do that, but I also want to get back to my original purpose, and that was to share my own prayer journal for the purpose of encouraging others so that they will also trust God and believe that God does answer prayer, and that we can stake everything on His promises. Excuse me. And so I want to get back to that, and I wanted to share with you something that happened the other day. Money is tight. I'm the sole support of, God supports us, but I support my family, my wife, and 5 children, and 1 on the way, and my wife's disabled and has a lot of health problems. We have a lot of medical bills and things, and she does a lot to support our family, but from a financial perspective, that's something that I'm responsible for. And so money's tight sometimes, and it's been tight lately. But I realized just a few days ago that we didn't have any money, and it was my dog's whining inside, so you might be able to hear her, but I realized the other day that we had no money, and it was going to be several weeks before I expected anything to come in. And it's weird. I've seen God answer prayer my whole life. He's always provided, and not once ever let us down. And even knowing that, it seems like I still, when things look bleak, I'll still fall apart and say, "Oh God, it's weird." Our faith, we're human, and our faith isn't perfect. Mine's certainly not. But even with all that, I fell apart the other day. I thought, "Oh God, what are we going to do? We have no money, and there's absolutely nothing that can help us." But I got on my face, and I asked God. I cried out to my Father, my Daddy, and I said, "We need some money. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't see any possible way, but we need some extra money fast." And I had a peace after that. It always helps to pray. It always helps to pray and ask God for what it is we need and want, because prayer moves God. Well, anyway, it was probably within an hour or 2 later, I got an email from a client that said, I sent you a check back in June, and it's never been cashed. And so do you check on that and see if you need me to reissue that? And I looked, and I didn't show any record that we'd ever cashed it. I don't know what happened to it. But she said, "Okay, I'm gonna reissue that check and get it out to you." And it was amazing. It was God answering my prayers. I asked for money. I said, "We need money now." And within a couple hours, I got that email saying that somebody owed me some money, and was going to rush it out to us. And I just thanked God. I thanked God for that He hears prayer, that He answers prayer, that He cares what's going on in our lives, even the small things. And He doesn't hold it against us when we lack faith, when we curl up into a fetal position and cry because we don't know whether we can trust Him. Thank God that He is merciful and kind and loving and caring, and that He hears us. You know, I mentioned this morning in my morning prayer that I did live, I said that, every other religion, the people are reaching up, trying to connect with God, trying to get His attention. Our God, God the Father of Jesus Christ, is the only God who came down to us. While everyone else is trying to reach up to God, trying to connect with Him and to grab a hold of Him, our God came down and became a man and walked on this earth. He got down on His knees and washed the dirty feet of the men who would betray Him the very next day. He gave His Son to pay the price for our sins, that we might have a restored relationship with Him. Our God is the true God who cared enough to come down to earth and experience for Himself what it means to be a human, for the pain and the suffering and the trials and temptations that we face. That's our God. You can trust Him. You can trust Him to hear your prayers, to answer your prayers, no matter how small. I believe He treats everything, even life-threatening, major issues to very small things, that He handles all things the same when we come to Him in faith. When we lack faith, He's always even faithful. Trust God. Keep praying. And I hope that as I publish more of my prayer journals and things going on in my own life, that you'll be encouraged to trust God, to keep your own prayer journal, and that you'll also pray for me. May the grace of Jesus be with you. Amen.